All right, so here you are.
Yeah.
The portfolio, the whole production of your artistic life, and well, some of it probably hidden here. And,
Yeah, there's a bunch of things that I just put it out.
But yeah, man, tell me what would you like to start here?
Well, I think like basically before Think Tank, that was kind of crazy. I like to start with this guy here because like the
Cool.
first job that I did at Gameloft.
Yeah, that's insane. Look at that, man.
Yeah.
Because it was already like I saw many people finishing a course like VFS with something like this, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, this was before coming to Think Tank, so I was pretty much just still working with advertising. And when I landed this job, it's just like, okay, maybe I can try working with characters. Like,
Yeah.
there's only with characters. With this very specific thing in Brazil that
Yeah.
is actually not a very welcome thing on the industry there,
Yeah.
because like basically you need to do like everything and be like a generalist.
True.
So you have like the concept art here and some of my takes on
this
the
Yeah, okay.
on this game.
And this is the launch of the game here,
Yeah.
like advertising of it. But really cool, man. As you can see that there's a lot of the details already in texture and
Yeah, and at that point, I was basically focused more on modeling because was my strongest
role,
skill
right? Yeah.
at that time. So it was just
Okay.
like, yeah, let's focus more on modeling. I didn't even do like the texturing for this guy. Like it was just straight out modeling. They didn't say like, okay, you just need to do the high poly.
retopo.
I did like the retopo, like, but the baking and everything that I did for the game actually was like done by the studio.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
just did like the basically the high poly and the retopo, but I think like they adjusted a lot of things because at that time I didn't have like this game workflow knowledge.
Yeah.
I kind of knew what I was doing, but I don't know if it was the best case for them. You know?
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, I can see that. So the cloth here was all sculpted. Was no at the time there was not even like
No, it was
Marvelous design.
No, yeah, this was like all sculpted. Like the whole character, I basically modeled it in ZBrush
That's crazy.
because I was trying to adjust my workflow between like Maya and ZBrush and do this back and forth.
Yeah,
But I think like for this one, it's 100% ZBrush.
that's
I
so
believe.
cool, man. All right, let's get to the next one then.
Yeah, I think like from that we can just jump into the blue guy that I did in Think Tank.
Ah, so that was your main work at Think Tank.
Yeah.
Was it the one that got like awarded?
Yeah, the year after I finished this project, I
Yeah.
just put this on the rookies
Yeah,
and I got second place.
that's so cool. Yeah,
On the rookies.
it's very competitive, man. There's a lot of great
Yeah.
work that's coming out of this.
Yeah, I
Also-
remember that time they saying they have like 10,000 entries or something like that, like something
Yeah.
crazy. I was just like, "Oh, that's really tough."
It's very hard to compete, right? Yeah, but also there's a lot of it's since it's students, but still it's a gigantic achievement, and you can see the quality. For me, it's a beautiful work, man. And as you said, it was all through mentorship.
Yeah.
Were, it's a different path.
Yeah, this was like all through mentorship. And another thing that I always want to point out to my students there at Think Tank is that this piece was not meant to be like in a production. Like it's
Yeah.
for a movie, but like I did on a movie, like film workflow. But I'm trying to say is that like this piece I did exclusively to display my skills.
Yeah.
You know, as a modeler, as a texture artist, as a groomer. So like it's basically just trying to showcase like that I could do like organic stuff, hard surface stuff,
All the
different
parts
kinds of texture,
Hair.
lighting, hair, fur, and all this stuff to say like, okay, this is my package. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm this good as an artist.
Yeah.
So if it fits like for the studio,
That crazy.
please hire me.
yeah. Yeah, it's great, man. Look at that, and all of the stages that you're talking about are looking good. And even can you consider this part here a look dev part where you're like analyzing the light, or would you say it's just a presentation?
This is like I think like on this is mostly as a presentation,
Yeah.
but I did a bunch of light and texture paths, like shading. Try to study and evolve more of that as well,
Yeah.
because this was done in V-Ray as well. Like it was rendered in V-Ray, so I was learning it as well. So
So was it a choice to use V-Ray, or was it because in VFS they used a lot of Redshift because of the how fast it was?
yeah, that time like Think Tank had V-Ray as the main render
Default
for the
way,
school.
yeah.
Yeah. Because they have like a partnership, so
Yeah, and I think that the V-Ray also has GPU accelerator, or not
Yeah.
even accelerator, just straight GPU. Right?
yeah, now they have yeah.
That's so cool, man. Congrats,
Yeah, this
man.
one were like straight like CPU.
Shit.
But yeah, this is another project, but we can go
Yeah.
back on that way.
Yeah, man, that was huge. That was definitely a huge jump in quality. I mean, you of course you had quality before, but the dedication. I think that's what I always say when people ask, like, the sort of the fact that you're dedicating like 1 year or 8 months or whatever amount of time you're doing. Because if you're doing it on your personal time, you're usually not as dedicated, right?
Yeah. Because like normally like the free time, and I don't have much free time now,
exactly.
you know.
now even worse.
Yeah, now with the family is even worse, man. But like it's hard because like especially when you work at home and you don't have like a goal, because like even working for a studio, you have like some deadlines. You gotta work for like your salary, you know.
Yes,
so you gotta do that. But when it's personal work like this, it's hard to be driven by like it's hard to have a force to drive you through that project, you know. Normally you start with like some excitement, and towards the way like in the middle of the path you just like I don't know, I want to start like something else, or I'm tired to work on this thing. And that's absolutely when you have to stick to the path and finish it, even if it's not like on the level you want it. But like if you finish one piece and you start another one and try to finish the second one, you'll be always evolving. You know, like because if you start something to the middle of it and just leave it unfinished, you never evolve.
True.
You know, you never evolve. You gotta finish if it's not the level that you want, but you gotta finish all your pieces.
That's true, and that's something that I have to tell myself sometimes as well, because or most of the time, because it's especially when you start to get into a more refined type of work, then it starts to get even more time consuming to achieve like when you're trying to do work that is better, or at least that can stand up to work on the industry. You start to make contacts on the industry, start to get your LinkedIn full of incredible artists, and then your mind's like, okay, so what am I presenting here? Am I presenting something that is good enough?
Exactly.
So it's always hard, I guess, because that's what goes through your mind on each step of the way as well. Like,
and another thing is like when you want to get better, you always have to study a new thing. You always have to learn a new thing. So most of the free time we have is just like learning new things and never actually just putting it to practice. You know, so you're just learning. I'll learn more anatomy. I'll learn more, I don't know, like more shading or more look depth, or learning a new software as like Houdini to do like grooming and stuff, or learning like Unreal for real time stuff right now. We're always learning, but like just stopping just to put all this knowledge into a single piece and just like, okay, I'll finish this thing. It's really hard.
Because you gotta make choices. You cannot do every single new thing that comes out, and like and there's gonna be a lot of them. Like the more technology evolves, the more we're gonna have this kind of stuff, right?
Absolutely, man.
That's hard. But and what should we go next here?
I think like most of these characters I did after this guy was like studies for like likeness. I have this one as a Tom Cruise likeness study. It's not quite there, but I mean,
but everything is there. Like the
at least it's a study, you know.
No, I like it a lot, man. The hair is
put
great.
Like a beard on him. Something that you not usually see him.
It's true, right? Tom Cruise never uses a beard. But
I
can totally see that.
Sounds like that.
He should. Yeah, and the texture and the fit. Did you use any projection, like texturing XYZ or something like that?
This one I used like a texture
Yeah.
XYZ just to have like this micro details and stuff, and
Yeah, I
also
totally,
like the
man.
base for the albedo.
That was a discussion that I had during school. Actually, that they were talking about like painting the face, and I was like,
Mhm.
man, yeah, it's very first the industry most of the time is going to be projection.
Mhm.
Especially now, I don't know.
Yeah.
You deal with digi doubles.
Mhm.
You probably get the whole texture
Yeah.
on a
Basically everything is kind of ready, I'd
Yeah.
say, just to be faster and
Yeah.
have like if you have like a character with the highest quality you can just rework that into a new character,
Sure.
and keep the quality. So just there's literally no point in just like reworking everything again.
Yeah.
You know?
It might be interesting to know. I think that, but
Yeah.
but you can always mix techniques, right?
Yeah. Because like it's the case of this guy here.
Yeah.
Because like when I was studying for like this guy,
Yeah.
there are no projections. Like this one is all hand sculpted.
And it's looking amazing. Look at that.
Yeah. Because this one I was just trying to do like just to run in the opposite direction. I was just
Yeah.
like run from projecting and I have like ready stuff and try to understand like how does wrinkle works, how
Yeah.
does like how the texture works with like different like displacement levels,
Yeah.
like multiple displacements. So I was trying to basically just mimic skin just sculpting by hand, and
It's a technique that Anthropos talks a lot about, right?
It was like the Chris Costa course at that time, just learning how to
Oh,
do,
you
like,
did
course.
it? You did it as well?
Yeah, at that time I
Oh,
did like
cool.
this. He's like second or third class.
Oh, cool, man! Look at that and the whole pose thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it's
decided to
beautiful.
go like with the full character.
Yeah,
like
might as
somehow.
well.
Yeah,
Might as well, right? Look at that!
but
It's beautiful, man. Amazing.
yeah, it was like a really interesting stuff because like in the end of the day, even if you have like all the wrinkles for X, Y, and Z and all this micro detail, you still have to know anatomy, still have to know the basics,
Yeah.
still have to know how to place them, because if you don't know that, you're pretty much just painting whatever you have.
Yeah.
And to be honest, this is not a phrase that I said before, but like people say like if you just have like a bad model with a bunch of these details X, Y, and Z, is the same thing as like sprinkle a piece of shit with gold, So in the end of the day, it's still not good, but it's like golden shit is not that good.
Oh my god, man, that's insane. But I can totally understand what you're saying. There's no amount of glitter that is gonna fix a bad job, man. That's
Exactly. You can have like the amount of pores that you want if the base of the model is not good, the anatomy is not there.
good. Yeah.
The model.
Yeah, and
will
the
not end
opposite
up
is
there.
the opposite is true as well. Like if you have a insanely good model anatomy wise, you can present it just as is, like
Mhm.
on clay,
Yeah.
and there's gonna be people that will be gonna like, oh, that's
Yeah.
cool, that's cool.
Yeah, because it demonstrates like foundation, like just studying, especially anatomy, to have a foundation is really good for you just to understand the next steps.
Yeah,
Because like if you know how to model pores, it doesn't mean anything if it doesn't know how like a muscle behaves, how does the skin pulls toward like a smile or expression you
Sure.
have. So like you gotta understand that part of the anatomy just to sprinkle your micro details later.
After you spend a lot of time just trying to get
Yeah, a lot of
the
time.
basics right.
Yeah, this one was like basically just like free trying to apply the same techniques of hand sculpting with projection. This one I think I have both,
Yeah,
but I was trying to do like a more creature driven stuff. Like it does have like a more humanoid eyes and head structure, but with a beak
and the feather thing
and the
as well.
feather things.
How is it all like X-Gen? What were you using here?
Funny enough, like the main feathers for his head is modeled in ZBrush.
Modern ZBrush.
Yeah, I modeled them in ZBrush, just placed across the head, and just to fill the gaps, I did an X-Gen pass.
Oh, that's great, man.
We have to have like both going
So you
on.
have just to fill up the
Yeah,
can
more
say.
furry, more
Yeah,
fluffy like.
But everything here is amazing. The concept, everything was yours, right?
Yeah. This one is like I'd say original, but like I was trying to do a character that, because I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Yeah,
And like I was
really?
trying to do like an original character that could fit on this Star Wars
Oh,
universe.
cool.
So it's just like they always have like these aliens that kind of
Yeah.
resembles to some kind of animal. You have
Yeah.
like Admiral Akbar. There's like a fish.
Cool.
So it's just like, yeah, let's try to do like a bird creature.
That's definitely something that I can see. I could imagine on a Star Wars movie or on a Mandalorian episode.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Look at that. So cool.
Yeah, this one is one of the ones I didn't finish.
Yeah.
Like I'm still just
Oh, I didn't finish this.
Yeah, it was just
Ah.
exploring with some shapes and some look dev and see like if I could get like a better or like a different approach to it,
Yeah. No, but it takes time, and I can see I can relate because I have if this is probably going on my channel, and I have a project of the face rig that I was doing that took me. I think I had about 60 live sections and sessions, and I was still not done to the point where it's been a year. I didn't touch it. And I'm still like, oh man, I need to finish that thing. But it's what you're saying. Is this sometimes the work-life balance and
and it's a learning curve as well. Like whatever you were working on, you're always trying to improve it. And that's a thing that is very related to 3D artists. Like if it's more technical or if it's more artistic, like we're always trying to improve.
True.
We look at our own work and say like, man, I could do better.
Yeah.
And that's a mentality that you gotta have in this industry.
Yeah, that's totally true. And in this case that I'm mentioning, like I think that many things which it relates to what we were talking about before as well, that many things came across as new technologies, and sometimes it's hard for you to figure out the future. And I think that this is something that can affect a lot someone that is in the beginning as well, because you're thinking about finishing your work, and then this new technology comes up, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, maybe let me just try a little bit of that, and then man, it's hard, man. It's to this day I'm like, oh, maybe I should be doing some meta-human stuff.
Oh yeah, that's the thing, man. That's my next goal. I was trying to dive into that as well, because as you said, like you gotta still know the basics, like for rigging or for like anatomy wise, it doesn't matter. But you always come to a point that technology catches up with what we're doing and just improves it, and we're trying to keep up with technology as well.
That's real.
It's always like this loop that we get with technology, that we try to evolve and do better pieces, then technology does that automatically for us, and then we try to keep up with that. So it's always a loop.
So for the people hearing, I highly encourage getting into the portfolio here, digging into all the work. There's amazing stuff. We went through like 5 of the pieces that Vinicius has on his portfolio, but there's a lot to dig into, and